Hello, everyone. It's Curdy again, episode 4 of my vlog. I'm in my trailer and I am repping my swag from Flock Fiber Festival, which was last weekend, July 31st through August 2nd. It was the 4th annual, put on by La Mercerie out of Bainbridge Island. It was at the Seattle Convention Center in the Summit Building, and it was the 3rd year in a row that my sister Jody and I went. So fun. For me, it really is it's like my Fiber New Year. It's like my Jan 1 of the Fiber New Year. So before I get too far into that, my name is Curdy. I live in the Pacific Northwest. I live out in the trees on the beautiful Key Peninsula with my husband and our dog, Zeke, who turns 2 next Wednesday, August 12th. As I mentioned, this is episode 4 of my vlog, so thank you for being here. My sister's working night shift tonight, so I'm hoping you have this posted so that when she wakes up, she'll have a little surprise that it's available for her to sit and watch while she eats dinner. It is August 9th, 2026, and it is a beautiful day here. It's actually supposed to be cooler. We've been like in the high 80s, low 90s, and I'm wearing a merino sweater. It's almost starting to get a little too warm for me to be wearing this, but it's short sleeves, so cap sleeves, so I should be good to go. I have been a knitter. I started knitting when I was 6. For those of you that haven't watched any of my other episodes, my cousin Mary taught me how to knit when I was 6. I knit more when I was in college, when I lived with my cousins, and I started knitting more when I moved back, because I moved away from Washington State and moved back in 2006, lived with my sister, and in the evenings we would watch TV and we would knit, and I was knitting socks. Socks are fun. Socks are packable projects. I can shove a sock project into my purse. They knit up pretty quickly. I've never had an issue with second sock syndrome. I absolutely love knitting socks, especially now that I'm hand spinning and I'm spinning up, just kind of a sock quantity. It's nice, because some of the braids that I bought early on were just sock quantity, and that's okay. So getting some socks. This is the Floodlight Tee from Tanis Fiber Arts, and I actually spun, this is from a combo spin of 3 different types of merino, 3 different merino braids, 2 of which were gifts for my birthday last year. One was a Malabrigo noob, the second was a Malabrigo noob, 2 different colorways, but definitely you can see had like purples and blues in it. So I was like, ooh, those would look really good together. And then same birthday gifter had gotten me 2 braids. So one was the Malabrigo Nube and the other was this beautiful lavender braid from a shop in Juneau, Alaska. So I broke those down into little nests, and then I figured out a way to say, okay, I'm going to spin them in this order. 1, 2, 3. And I did that on 3 different bobbins, and then I 3-plied them together, and I love it. This is my first hand spun project, and I know I tend to touch, if you watch me, I tend to touch myself because it is so soft. It's actually quite warm. It's good for shoulder seasons like spring and fall, and I'm wearing it in the summer, but that's okay because I like to wear my hand knits when I come on here and film, so it's all good. So that I'll tag Tanis Fiber Arts. I'll tag Tanis. So yeah, the thing I love about knitting, especially garments, is that you can take a pattern. Usually they come in like 9 different sizes, and you can tailor them exactly to your body and how you want it to fit. You can have a nice loose fit. You can have a negative ease fit like I have here. You could have a long sleeve. You could have, kind of a shorter sleeve, cap sleeve. You do a 3/4 length sleeve. You can change up the way that you bind off or the way that you finish the collar and the sleeves, which I did with a 1x1 ribbing instead of a tubular bind off, or excuse me, not a tubular bind off. She has you do an I-cord bind off on this one. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I love it. Absolutely love, love, love it. Okay. I also love festivals, and I really love Flock and Fiber Festival. So what I'm going to do is I tried my very best to unpackage everything, so you're not going to get a lot of crinkle. If you watched my first episode, lots of crinkle. This is my Jessi Wertz mug. She's in New Mexico. I'll tag her. I've got my tattoo that my brother did. Mike Campbell Studios, some Ravensclaw tattoo. My Yed Omi earrings. I'm not getting anything for any of these shout outs, but people always ask me. So anyway, here we go. All right. Da, da, da. Okay. So so let me explain. So if you haven't met me, Curdy's journey has been many things. And in the last couple of years, I've been really focused on showing my fiber arts journey. And so I talk about knitting. I talk about spinning. We're going to get into raw fleece prep. And I just go bananas on my fiber arts journey. So if you've got questions, put them in the comments below. If this is your jam, I mean, I love watching people spin. I love hearing them talk about their fiber journey, and it just makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy to watch people talk about this stuff. So yeah, subscribe, give me a like, love it. Share it with your friends who are also fiber artists, because I share a lot about lots and lots of fiber artists. Okay, so Flock Fiber Festival takes place for 3 days, right at the beginning of August every year for the last 4 years. My sister and I have been the last 3 years, and every year we've done it a little bit differently. So the first year that we went, I was still knitting. My sister had just started spinning, or early on in her spinning journey. And so we didn't take any classes. We just would go up, get our hotel room, hang out on Friday, go to the marketplace on Saturday, and then turn around and come home on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening. Then last year we decided, let's take some classes. So we took 2 classes back to back on Friday. It was exhausting and so much fun. We took a how to spin a colored braid 5 different ways by Susan with Calypso Farms up in Alaska. And we took a blending board class with the Clemmis and Clemmis. And both were great, but it was really hot in the building and we were exhausted by the end of the day. So we said, okay, cool. This year, what we're going to do. And then, so last year we also did the marketplace on Saturday, but we decided this year we were going to split classes up and just do 1 in the morning on Friday and 1 in the morning on Saturday, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then we'll do the marketplace Saturday, and then we'll spend a second night. So we spent the night Friday night and Saturday night, and do the marketplace again on Sunday. Because Saturday it's bananas. I mean, I love seeing how busy it is, and how much the vendors are supported and selling through everything. And just, I love it. I love seeing the creativity, and then I love people just soaking that in and making those purchases. It makes me so happy to see. And it's also really hard to get in the booths. I'm like a bull in a china shop. I'm knocking stuff over, running into people. So Sunday was a little more chill, which is nice. So we got to experience both Saturday chaos and Sunday chill. So Friday, what I did was I drove over to my sister's. I left my house at 6 a.m., drove over to my sister's house in Puyallup. I've been moving stuff around trying to get ready for this video. And so there's fiber in the air, which is why I'm rubbing my eyes. And so I got to my sister's. We packed up her Subaru to the hilt. We had all of our stuff. And stopped for coffee. And then drove up to Seattle. Got to the hotel. Our room was ready. So cool. So we were able to check in. and go up to our room. I could eat my breakfast, make some more coffee, get semi-unpacked, and then we rolled our wagon with our spinning wheels and our projects and stuff up to the Summit building at the Seattle Convention Center and checked in. And it was such a smooth process. Everyone at check-in was so wonderful. There were volunteers everywhere to help you, like where you're going. It's fantastic. And then we got to class, and we were taking a woolen spinning class with Alanna Wilcox. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a funny story. So I had this book on Kindle Unlimited, and I wanted this book in real life so bad. I have a huge reference collection for knitting and spinning. If the internet ever goes down, I can still just keep going on my journey because I have so much reference material. I just love having books in real life, and I like to be able to flip through them. I like to be able to mark pages, especially if there's something like, oh yeah, I remember she said that. Anyway, we got an email from Alanna after we purchased the course, but right before class on what we needed to bring and all the things. And she said, would you like to buy a copy of my book? Yes, please. Where do I do that? So I got to get her book, which I've been trying to get and really hard to get. I didn't know I could go to her website and get it. It was way cooler to have her actually like explain that. So she's a master spinner. So she has her certificate, has gone through all the courses through Olds Spinning University up in Canada. And this was part of the process. She published part of her process of her journey of getting her master spinning certificate. So is that something that's in my future? Possibly. But for now, I will say, if you're a spinner or you're learning to spin and you want to learn more about how to manage color from braids, get this book. It's so good. She also has a website, ALANNA Wilcox.com, where she has classes. She has her film classes. She does a whole mastery of like color theory and dyeing fiber and yarn and all the things. And then she has a bunch of different spinning courses. So I am going to take some courses. I will say, but I don't have a link or anything. But if you do mention my name, if you want to, or my email address, which again, I'll put this all in the show notes, she'll give me a discount off of her classes. So you don't have to. You can just go book a course and you don't have to mention anything, is what I'm saying. But if you do, I'm thinking that in the future, if I get enough discounts on classes, what I would like to do is then pay it forward, get a gift card for classes, and do a giveaway. So let's see. Anyway, it was fun. I have learned a lot about myself taking classes. I take a lot of online classes through School of Sweet Georgia, and then I belong to the Ply Guild through Ply Magazine, and I watch a lot of YouTube University as well. And I love the hands-on. I like to be able to have somebody explain it and then show me. I'll try it, show me again, try it, show me again, until I feel like I've gotten it. Or I may have to watch multiple videos on how to do a specific technique before it finally hits. So that's the challenge of being in a class with like 16 or 18 people, is not getting that one-on-one. And that is not the instructor's fault. But it can give the illusion I'm not paying attention. And I truly am. I'm soaking it all in. I'm soaking in the theory. I'm in awe of the instructor because of her just being a complete fiber goddess. Like, fiber goddess. I mean, she just knows her stuff. But I was not going to master how to do woolen spinning in her class. Did I practice it over several days since I've been home and while we were at Flock and Fiber Festival in our hotel room? Absolutely. I've been practicing. I've also been able to go back and kind of, feel some of my fiber that I spun supported long draw for Tour de Fleece. And I'm like, I'm getting there. I really am. I'm getting there. And also Alanna and Tazhi, both of the the humans I took classes from, they explained very well that if you're making yarn that you enjoy knitting with, then you're doing it right, which is so, so true. I apologize. I have blown my nose like 100 times today, and I don't know what's going on with my sinuses. So I apologize if I'm sniffing. Okay, so want more from Alanna? I will tag Alanna. I'll put Alanna's website in, and yeah, such good stuff. Okay. Oh, we're not there yet. We'll get there in a second because I didn't take another class. Okay, so after class we had lunch, and then and there's this beautiful wooden stairway seating area in the Summit building. If you go to the Seattle Convention Center, I'm sure it's all over their website. And we sat there with the sun coming in the windows and just ate our lunch, and it was glorious. And then we towed our wagon back to the room, and we grabbed our blending boards. This is my Ashford blending board. What you're seeing on here are little teeth right here. There's lots of tools that come in the kit when you buy it. And then we went down to the lobby and set ourselves up with fiber. And what we did was we made these beautiful bats. My sister has a blending board as well and had been wanting to learn how to make bats. And so that's what I did. I taught her how to make bats. I'm going to use, pull off the strip. Boom, boom, boom. That's, you spin from this. So there's that. And this is merino and silk and some superwash merino and some Highland Peruvian wool, all kinds of stuff. And then this, I have been wanting to make another one of these. This is what's been getting in my nose, probably why I'm sniffy. But I had made my sister a Corriedale alpaca silk bat for her birthday advent, and I wanted to do it again for myself. And this is just like, oh, it's so next to skin soft. I'll talk more about supported spindle here in a second, but I have been spinning it up on the supported spindle, and oh, so glorious, absolutely glorious. So anyway, that was what we did. And we gained quite the following. We had a gal from California stop and sit with us. And she said, I don't spin. And she said, I knit. She's part of a guild down there. She does all kinds of, gets all kinds of education going for the guild. And she's like, I think I could make those bats and sell those bats. And because she said, that's my kind of art. That's what I would enjoy doing. And she had on the coolest, every day we saw her, she had a different like crochet dress on. Her name was Jody as well. So really fun to meet her. I didn't get her contact information. So that's a bummer. But anyway, and then what did we do? Oh, and then our cousin Mary showed up. She had driven down from Everett to have dinner with us, and poor thing sat in traffic, which is just awful. It's one of the things I don't enjoy about the Puget Sound I-5 corridor. It's just traffic. Anything going through Seattle, just pack your patience. Pack your patience, some water, and go to the bathroom before you leave the house. And she showed up, and we were laughing because more people had stopped because they were looking at our bats and what we had created and what are you doing, and new spinners and people who didn't spin. And then we were like, oh, here comes someone else to talk. Oh, wait, we know her. So we were able to kind of clear out, pack our stuff up, go back up to the hotel room. And then we went to dinner, and it was enjoyable. It was really fun. So thank you, Mary, for coming down and seeing us, and see you at the next thing. She's a prolific knitter. Amazing. Like I said, she taught me to knit when I was 6, and she creates her own patterns. She has taught me a lot about like sweater design and taking patterns that I love and the way they fit my body. And then like, you can add different color work. It's like, oh, I already know how to do that. I'm just going to add a different color work pattern to that. Or I'm going to add a cable design or, something else. She's also a fiber artist. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So then we were exhausted. We went to bed. I got up way too early because that's what I normally do. And I was also super excited because the class that we were going to was with Tazhi from Stitches and Starlight. I will also tag them I am such a fangirl of Tashi's. I watch all of Tashi's vlogs. And one of the things I absolutely adore about Tashi is how excited Tashi gets about processing wool, like buying the sheep fleece, processing it, and then knitting up sweaters with it. So we come into class. I've already opened this, but we come into class and there's 2 bags of fiber that Tashi has washed. And I see the name Opal on here. I'm like, oh, stop. Because I've watched Tashi buying Opal and Luna and Kazette and processing them into sweaters. So I have a lock here. What they did was they shared some of our stash, or their stash with us. And so what we got to do is we got to learn about just, concepts behind how to buy fleece that we want to spin, how to process them. We did some processing on the hand cards, which I'll show you here in a second, and combs. And then they did some spinning up of that fiber that was processed. And then they gave us these little gifts to go and the fluff to go and process on our own. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to process each of those. There's 6 different samples, and I am going to spin them up, and then I think I'm going to make a hat. I'll make my Tashi hat. So yeah, I love how excited Tashi gets on their vlogs about going like to Rhinebeck, to the sheep barn, and to Maryland Sheep and Wool, the sheep barn, and just rushing the sheep barn and going and showing people. And I'd love to be there in person and go through and touch fleece with them and, learn more about the process in person. We talked about that on Sunday when we saw them at the marketplace. But they also were really encouraging about buying fleece online and the questions to ask farmers and things like that. And I've actually been looking. We have local sheep farms here and on the Key Peninsula and in the surrounding areas, and I really want to meet some farmers and get to touch their fleece and buy their fleece. So that class was great. Tashi went into the theory of processing, the raw fleece and then getting it ready to prep to spin. And then, so it was called Sheep to Sweater, but the actual sweater spinning theory class was in the afternoon. And that's part of, again, I talk about, like flock being like my new year, my fiber new year, my Jan 1 for what I'm going to learn. And I'm really excited to share with you about my journey with processing raw fleece, from skirting, pulling the poo off, to scouring and washing the fleece, and then hand prepping it. So maybe one day I'll get a drum carder. For now, the hand carder's in the blending board, and my combs are going to have to do, and my flick carder. And if all of this is just like Greek to you and you're glazing over, it's okay. I have the people. They'll watch. So if you want to know more, I'm going to put Tashi's YouTube channel in the show notes. So very, very cool. That class was so fun. I learned so much. And Tashi, if you're watching this, I am one of the people that watches you at like 1.25 and 1.5 speed. I do that for everyone. So if I'm not talking fast enough, or you need to consume content faster, speed me up. 1.25, 1.5 speed. All works out. Okay. So after class, we packed up our wheels, ate our lunch, and then went and stowed everything kind of in the vendor area behind the curtain, behind the stage. And everyone loved our wagon idea. It worked out so well to be able to just haul everything to and from the hotel. So then it was time to marketplace. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about one of my absolute first purchases. Okay. Keira Wiggins. I'm going to tag you, Keira Wiggins, and I'm going to tell a story now about Keira Wiggins. So my first flock, which was 3 years ago, I was not a spinner. I was not a hand spinner. I was just a knitter. So I was buying yarn and really enjoying myself. And we went to Keira Wiggins' booth. And I saw these beautiful clouds of fluff. And I was like, what is that? And my sister was still spinning braids. Like, we also like to buy, colored braids of fiber, right? And she was like, I've got to buy some. So she did. And I thought, if I ever learn to spin, those fluffs those are going to be in my spinning future if I ever do. So clearly I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. Because then the next February, I bought my e-spinner at Red Alder Fiber Festival from Eugene Textiles, which is down in Eugene, Oregon. And then last year, I went back to Keira's booth. And again, I saw these and I was like, I don't know how to spin those. And I was so focused on breed study. I was so focused on learning how to spin the processed single breed sheep wool that I was buying a lot of that everywhere. I wanted to buy it from local farms. I wanted to buy local processed single breed sheep fiber and really do a deep dive that last year with that, which I did. So I didn't buy a lot of colored braids of fiber, and I certainly, as much as I love these, did not know what to do with them because I was not yet aware of how to spin long draw, which I really started spinning long draw in January and have been spinning a lot of long draw, more woolen spin. So this is a woolen prep. And again, you might be glazing over because you're like, that's just pretty. I don't know what that looks like, cotton candy, but I don't know what it is. So Keira was on my list of one of the first booths I was going to go to. And I got 150 grams of this. It's all night, all summer is the colorway. This is prepared on a drum carder. It's Corriedale, Merino, Mulberry Silk, Sari Silk, and Stellina. And this is going to be a sweater. I'm so excited about this. I want to just rip it open and start spinning. So, Keira, thank you. I just thank you. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you. So, then walked into another booth, Fiona Kay Knits. I didn't even know Fiona Kay Knits existed. So they have a website. I am in love with this fiber bat. I mean, look at this. Ugh. Okay. Look at this. I don't even know if you can see. Are you able to see on the lighter color how shiny and so good. So, here we go. Look at that fuchsia. So good. Okay. Getting a little excited here. So this is merino, Shanico, and Tussa silk and recycled Sari silk, mulberry silk, and Angelina sparkle. We're just going to have to see how this spins out because this could do a gradient with this and then chain ply it. I'm speechless. It's gorgeous. So gorgeous. I also made the decision, I'm going to jump ahead here to, I was going to buy another wheel. I'm looking at a Shacked Matchless. And I was like, you know what? After having the issue of not being able to spin in the truck on our travel in July, I know, say a little like boo-hoo for me. I was car sick trying to spin on my e-spinner for Tour de Fleece. When we were traveling, I had to knit. Boo! But it made me realize that I wanted to have some more travel-friendly ways to spin. So I'm not going to actually do any spinning on these today because it's just, that's another video. For another video, see? Come back. But I bought these at Northwest Yarns, which is in Bellingham, Washington. And they're both handmade. One is a Turkish spindle, so it's a cross-arm spindle. So when you pull these little arms out, this is actually, this cop is already a turtle that you can ply from. And I'll show you that another time. And then the supported spindle needed a bowl. So Northwest Yarns, Bellingham, Washington, where I got the handmade wooden spindles. And the dipping bowl is from Jen and Megan at JamPD in Portland, Oregon. And it's a dipping bowl. But I went and they actually took a little video of me spinning. The spindle spins really smoothly in this ceramic dish. I am a complete newbie with all of this spindling here. But the cool thing is that I really am going to be able to do more spinning travel-wise. I can take these on the airplane. I can take it on a cruise. I can take this in the truck. Whatever. Do some more spinning. So super excited. I'm also excited about the fact that it slows me down a bit. This is a more woolen spin by nature. And then this one, like I said, it makes the actual cop for you. But these slow me down and I have to really focus, and I have to be new at this. And I've been spinning a lot. I mean, I spun almost 1,900 grams of fiber in 2 months, and I'm going to show you the yardage on that and what that looks like, you know, in finished product here and in videos coming up. But I feel like it's time to slow down, get back to knitting for a bit, and really learning this new part of my craft. And that also includes creating more woolen style bats to be able to spin fiber. So that means I get to play and create with different fibers and colors and mix-ins and all the things. So super excited about that. Okay. Then we went to Skagit Woolen Works. So I bought some Build-A-Bats the last couple of years. In fact, this one, I used my hand carders to mix in. Again, they've got the teeth. So I'll show this in another video. So you layer the fiber on. Some of this was roving, some of this was dyed locks, and then some was just washed locks. And so they have to be dragged onto these teeth, and then they're combed, and then they mix together, and what comes out of it is this fluff. And then you spin this fluff. And so I love Skagit Woolen Works. They didn't have some of the blends that I enjoy spinning from them. I did some Tazhi alpaca silk that I spun even during Tour de Fleece this year, and they didn't have any. So they're doing some different stuff, and it seems really cool. But what I wanted was the bat, so super excited about that, or Build-A-Bat. So I got that, and let's see here. Okay, and then Lauren at Little Fiber Co. So I'm not going to crinkle this too much, but these are the minis. This is all fiber to spin. This is all 80% Cormo and 20% rose fiber. And you're going to see the sparkle that the rose brings to the fiber. I learned about Lauren recently. She's come out to a couple different shows here, or a couple of the shows. I know she was here last year. She's here again. She was here again this year. And so she's a small business owner, and I happened to see that she was having an advent for December, and I love an advent. I've talked about that in other videos. I love an advent. I love having a little something to open up every day. And I'm a huge proponent of, you know, if you want something for a special, like for your birthday or for a holiday, buy it yourself, because you're going to get what you want. And so I did the Nest Fiber Advent for Valentine's Day this year. I did the World of Wool Advent from the UK last December. And I was excited to support some small businesses in the US. And also, unfortunately, with the tariffs, you know, just bringing in things internationally is a little more expensive. So I did buy their Advent. So I'm super excited for that. And Lauren's Advent sold out in like less than 24 hours. They were shocked. So it was really fun to go and buy some stuff. So this is a braid of fiber. This is 4 ounces. And then this is 8 ounces of the minis. And so this is going to be, I'll do 4 ounces on one bobbin, 4 ounces on another, 4 ounces on another, and then I'll 3-ply that. And that's going to be really fun to see how that yarn turns out. I'm super excited. So thank you, Lauren. Angelina at Woolly Wildflower. She's out of Shelton. And no, she was at the show last year and I was so focused on what I was buying that I was like, oh, she's from Shelton. I want to buy something from her. But I went in and I was like, no, I'm not buying any. I wasn't really buying any colored braids. And so this year, I was like, I walked in the booth. I was like, I thought you were supposed to be at Pacific Northwest Expo. I know you were supposed to be at Spokane and Fleece and Fiber Festival, but I didn't make it last year. I know the reason. I'm not going to bring that energy in here. And then she was not at Pacific Northwest Expo, and she told me why. And she's not going to be there again this year because every time she books, something bad happens. So bummer. But she will be at Spokane again this year. And I bought this hand-dyed Tazhi silk. She had 4 different colorways. And I love using the silk when I'm blending fibers on my blending board and with my hand cards. And so I'm like, this is amazing. And it's a lot. 4 ounces. It's a lot because a little bit of silk goes a long way. So we've got to do some blending videos for sure. But anyway, Angelina, thank you. And I'm excited to see you in Spokane. I did forget to mention also, there is a gal by the name of Tanya. A Naughty Knitter 2 is her handle on Instagram. So in my woolen spinning class, Alanna Wilcox's class on Friday morning, I sat down next to this gal. She looked so familiar. Because if there's anything about hand spinning on YouTube University here, I consume it all. Just love it. I want to get all the people together and I just want to geek out on fiber. I just love it so much. Anyway, it clicked when I said that. I said, you look so familiar. I was like, oh, there's a de-stash video that you do, right? And she's like, that's the one that usually gets people to watch me. She's so sweet. She's like, that's the gateway video. Anyway, she's from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and she's going to be at the Spokane Fleece and Fiber Festival too. And her energy was just amazing. She has a ton of followers and she is just the sweetest. And we were knitting together. She forgot her wheel. She has dogs. She's a lovely human being. And Tanya, it was so good to meet you. And yeah, so we have a completely different style of videotaping, and in the world of like sharing your journey, it can be hard when like comparisons sets in. And I have to say, I love her videos and they are so her style, and I love my videos and they're so my style, and we all have our people. And I have got fiber in my nose. I am not picking my nose on camera. I have fiber in my nose. It's this fluff. So Tanya, it was lovely to meet you. Am I really done? I'm done. Okay, so I want to show you actually I processed some of this and this on my blending board earlier in the year, and this is the yarn that it made. See that? Has some sparkle in it from some silk. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. And it's really squishy. So it's rustic, though. I'm not sure what I would bake with it. Probably socks and fingerless mitts. Yeah, here's my blending board. This was from the Clemis and Clemis class last year. So you probably wonder, like, what is this? Why you got party bands on your yarn? So Jillian Moreno, who wrote Yarnitecture, who is another spinning goddess out there in the world, she suggested using Tyvek bracelets to write all your stuff on. So I write like what it was, where I got it, and then weigh it, count out how many yards. Because I don't have it with me. I have a Nitty Naughty. That's how you skein yarn, and then multiply it by 2 yards to get your total yards. And these, if you write with permanent marker, can go when you wash the fiber so stuff doesn't get mixed up. So this is another one that I blended from Olga's Fiber Yurt. I got some fiber at Pacific Northwest Expo, and I was trying to figure out, it's pencil roving, and I was trying to figure out if I carded it, if it, like, how it would change how they blended it to how I blended it. It's just so squishy. This was some, I did this one. This was actually some merino locks that I got from my local spinning instructor. And then I mixed it with some silk and some bamboo. And it's just chunky. It's true chunk monk. It's like a bulky. And then this one was Blue Face Luster, BFL, that I mixed with silk and bamboo on my hand carder, 42 grams. And then I spun this up and then I chain plied it to keep the rainbow so it's not all mixed together. And this one is some dog hair from Rufus, our setter that we just had to put down in April. And I mixed it with some wool on my blending board. Dog hair was really hard to spin. I know how I would do it next time. And I'm gonna put that as like part of a hat for Steve at some point. So miss our beloved pupper. So what's coming up? Spokane Fleece and Fiber Festival. That is in September. And Pacific Northwest Expo, Port Angeles. I am looking at buying raw fleece. So that's my next foray into diving even deeper into my spinning world. I am going to be working on learning and practicing on my new spindles. So I'll be keeping you posted about that. I have hanging to dry the last of the fiber that I spun up for Tour de Fleece. So there's Tour de Fleece, which ended on the 26th of July, and then Tour de Femme started last weekend and ends today. And so I will have finished spinning and plying all of my fiber. So I've got to do all my stats. I've got to send that over to my group that I Tour de Fleece group for through Darn Knit Anyway, and also Melly Knits. I did Stash Dashers again this year. And then I'm done with all of that. On Wilma, my double treadle Traveler 3 Ashford wheel, I still have my my fiber, my merino yak silk that I'm spinning up for my Wanderlust Knitters Smithfield vest, and I have 40 more grams to spin at that, so I've got to finish that, rewind all of that fiber that I've spun, and then do a traditional 3-ply on my Ashford e-spinner. And I've got cardigans to finish. I have other projects to start. I was trying to catalog my yarn today, my hand spun, to try to figure out what else I want to knit, because I really would like to knit something specifically from all of the breed steady fiber that I spun up during Tour de Fleece. I have a specific project in mind for that, so I'll keep you posted on that. And that's what's going on here. I'm going to do a recap for Tour de Fleece video coming up, and then I really would like to just start doing weekly videos and show you what I'm making. Just do maker videos and share with you some of the other vloggers that really inspire me and that I follow on the regular basis. And just making yarn, just twisting and making yarn just out of that bat. So thank you so much for being here on my fiber journey. If you've got questions or there's other stuff that you would like to know about me, please put that in the comments. Subscribe, like, share my video with other fiber nerds out there in the world, and let's keep you posted on my fiber happenings. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be here, because there's a lot of people out there, a lot of makers out there, a lot of vlogs to consume, and so I just appreciate you taking the time to be here with me. All right. Have a great day. Bye.